Throughout my extensive career of gaming, there's been many games that I've come across that would either be hard or difficult, and others would simply just say, get good, right? That is something we used to say back in the day, is that if a game was hard, well, you sucked. But gaming has evolved in a bit of a different way than when I was growing up. And back in the day, there was no internet to just kind of figure out, hey, this is the best strategy, or hey, you can just do this to break the game. Back in the day, you had to figure out how to beat the game yourself, or you had to pay to buy a magazine or some kind of cheat book to give you some kind of cheat codes to beat the game. That's what you were offered back in the day. But action games in general have kind of evolved in a very different way. You see, action games in the far, far beginning of them, around what I would like to say 2000 era, where hack and slash games started to come in and rise up. But there's one game that started to pop up, and they started to pop up about difficulty, called Ninja Gaiden. Now, I had a PS3, so Ninja Gaiden was available for me because it was on the Xbox for a long time. It was only until Ninja Gaiden Sigma came out that I was able to pick it up and actually play through the Ninja Gaiden series. And honestly, there is a lot that Ninja Gaiden 2 can offer. And we're going to get into that right now. So Ninja Gaiden has 17 chapters. Now, in the base form of Ninja Gaiden in the base form of Ninja Gaiden 2, there was only 13 chapters, if I'm correct, because there were 3 chapters, no, actually 14, right? 14, yeah, 14. There was only 14 chapters that this game had on base release. Because 3 of those are different characters that came in to Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma, and that is the different playable characters, namely Momiji, Rachel, and Ayane. Now, the differences between them are pretty extensive. Momiji only has a staff, Naginata, a long sword slash staff. It's a staff sword, I guess you could call it. Basically, Momiji's character is a shrine maiden, so she's kind of the protector of the village when Ryu is gone. Momiji is a character that honestly I kind of wish we had a little bit more missions for, because she's my favorite girl. No bias at all, but I kind of wish they would do a little bit more with some of these other characters in the Ninja Gaiden like spin-off series or something, because Ayane is by far the most fun character to play. Rachel, I don't really have any great ways to say this, but she is the most dull of the 3 other girls. Of the 3 girls, she's the most dull, in my opinion, because Rachel's movement is horrible. Well, technically she has the base movement of everyone else where you can just dash jump, but she doesn't have a flying swallow attack, which Ayane has, and Momiji actually does have. She has a double jump and a flying swallow attack that can actually lead into an ultimate technique, which is by far the best of both worlds in my opinion. But the thing that Rachel has is that she is so slow and her weapon is not great at all. And honestly, she's my least favorite of the 3. But that's just me. Now, with the chapters, you have the ability to equip skins to every character you play. Now, 3 of them are for Ryu only, and you have to unlock them as you play the game. Now, the girls have 2 each. They have 2 alternate skins each. And I kind of know that back in the day, there was in Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma, there was more skins that they have. I don't know exactly why they kind of withheld that for this one. Maybe they just didn't want to like up-res things, but that's just, you know, whatever at this point in time. And then just added in, they added this in not too long ago, around like a month or so after release, I think, is New Game Plus. In New Game Plus, you have 2 weapons that are upgraded at the max right off the bat when you start the game anew. That is the Dragon Sword and the Blade of the Archfiend, which is essentially dual blades at maximum. Now, I kind of wish they would at least give you some leeway here to have all weapons or some weapons at level 1 or level 2, because it is a bit of a drag to try and upgrade every single weapon to maximum, because it takes a lot more essence to actually get the upgrades. They cost 5,000 more, I believe. So New Game Plus is another thing that they added. Tag missions is something that has been in the game for some time, since Sigma, if I remember right. Now, Sigma had tag missions, and I believe you could actually co-op with someone in tag missions, because I do remember playing with someone and playing on the hardest missions, trying to beat them. We got close once and almost did it, but yeah, that was a long time ago. I don't exactly remember how it worked, but yeah, almost beat one of the hardest difficulties there. The other ones that I believe this is new is Chapter Challenge. Chapter Challenge is something that you just go through the chapter as fast as you can, trying to clear it as fast as you can. I think that's it. I'm not too sure exactly what it is that, you know, is Chapter Challenge really trying to do. I kind of wish there was like a survival mode, or like you can pick, you know, a different character like Momiji, Rachel, or Ayane out of their own stages and then put them in somewhere where it's kind of like an arena, and then you just survive countless times. I kind of wish they would do that. But there's other things that I kind of wish the game, you know, could change up, right? So let's get into some of the bad stuff that this game has. And I probably am going to hit the first one head on the nail, because everyone has been talking about this ever since the release. The godforsaken camera. The camera is so bad in this game, it will pan away from bosses when you're trying to run around them. And for some reason, I don't know why it does this. Someone else could probably say in the comment section below as to why it does this. But it will always move around when you don't want it to move around sometimes. And it will stick into certain places that, honestly, just, there's already enough visual clutter in this game that the camera does not help you at all. It will sometimes get stuck up on walls, and for some reason, it just doesn't allow you to pan around the camera so that you can see better. Now, the visual clutter is a bit harder to kind of differentiate in this game, because if you did move around the camera fast enough, you would be able to at least minimize the clutter that you have. But because you can't, it's kind of hard sometimes to keep the camera in a position that you actually want it to be in, because the problem is that there's so many things going on. There are enemies around you at all times. There's a lot of explosions going on. There's enemies charging up attacks, trying to hit you with fireballs, fire waves. There's, you know, demons coming around at every corner. It is so hard to just pick a place to really do anything, right? And this visual clutter leads you to actually getting grabbed a lot more. And for those of you who have played Master Ninja, you understand that if you get grabbed at all, you are dead. And this is something that really annoys me in any kind of game. If there's no way to really defend yourself from that, I don't like the implementation of it. Because if you get hit by an enemy, you can still be comboed into a grab. I do not like that. I already have to deal with that in Street Fighter. I don't want to deal with that crap in a single-player action game, okay? And the other thing that is probably the most frustrating thing, and this has happened to me many times, and it's not by, trust me, it is not by design. I hope it's not. But for some reason, when you charge up your ultimate technique, once it's red, it's fully charged, and then you unleash a barrage of attacks that you're invincible from. However, terrain is a problem in this game. It doesn't lend to a lot of the arenas that you actually want to fight in. And there is one particular area in this game that is quite notable, and that is the staircase. Oh boy, let me tell you something. The staircase of hell is something that I really loathe in video games. Because one, it's nothing more than an endurance match, which honestly, I haven't seen a lot of these kind of done in modern video games. In any kind of action game. I know, I guess you could call it, Devil May Cry does have an endurance with the 100, what is it called? Bloody Palace. I nearly forgot for a second. Bloody Palace is somewhat of an endurance match where you have to go through 100 stages and then, you know, beat up enemies. But there has been nothing really like that in the main, like, story, is what I'm trying to get at. There's no endurance match like that for a long time in action games, especially character action games, which I don't know if they're going to bring back. They're a little bit of a slog if they're done wrong, which is kind of like a hit or miss type of thing. But thankfully, this game really isn't a slog to play. And in fact, I would say this game offers some of the best action in video game history. Now, would I say that it's better than Devil May Cry? I would kind of harbor that a little bit back, just a bit. And mostly because the fast action really lends a lot to the visual display here. The faster you are in the game, the faster you will move. However, there are some drops here and there when it comes to some of the movement. There are many times where I actually do want to do a certain move and I don't get it. Mostly, like, I think it's called the wind step or something. Not too sure exactly what it's called. But basically, if your guard gets broken, you flick, I know, right? Flick the directional stick, your left stick, in a direction, and Ryu will, you know, kind of like dash out of there. He will highlight like light blue or something. And it will change depending on the character you have. Rachel's red, Luigi's like yellow, and then Ayane is purple. So you'll see that highlight around. And you'll know you did it right when that happens. And honestly, it's really fun to play this game. The attacks in this game are so fun to do. You'll notice that I do a lot of Izuna drops in a lot of my playthroughs. Izuna drops are fun to do. Not gonna lie, Izuna drops are really, really fun to do. They do a lot of damage. The other thing that does a lot of damage and is really fun are the weapons. I would say that all of the weapons are viable. It doesn't matter which one you choose, have fun with it. I really didn't think the Emma's Fang is as good as it was. It was really fun. I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun playing with it. The Eclipse Scythe, I think it's called. That was also a little bit more fun to figure out how to do certain things. I hadn't had that much fun in a while, especially playing action games. But now that we're talking about action games, there is something that's coming up. And I do hope they do address some of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about here. And in Ninja Gaiden 4, that was just updated not so long ago, we get a look and sneak peek as to what Koei Tecmo, and Platinum Games are going to do. Let's hope that the camera system is far more updated. Man, the camera system in Ninja Gaiden 2 and Ninja Gaiden 1 were not good. Trust me, they were bad. They were awful. Okay? Some of the worst gaming cameras ever, all the time. Sorry, my Donald Trump came out. I mean, one thing I kind of hope they do in the upcoming thing is have some kind of defense for grabs, specifically for grabs. Like if you get grabbed, you press certain buttons to at least minimize the damage if you do get grabbed. The suicide grabs are the worst. They're the most egregious thing. You can't do anything to stop it, and there's nothing that really like gives it away because there's so much action going on. That little frame where someone just tries to grab you gets lost when you're moving around and you just did a move, and then all of a sudden this guy just, you know, so happens to grab you at the end of your attack, and then all of a sudden he just blows up for no reason. That is not, to me, good design, is when you can't see what killed you. That is not good for me. Specifically me. Now, then again, I'm just a guy on YouTube just saying whatever, okay? What I do hope they do is add in a little bit of a lock-on system, kind of like what Devil May Cry does. Now, Devil May Cry, you're able to lock on and then lock off if you want, because it's just held by a button prompt, and you don't have to really hold it at all. You can do any move nearly. But for specific moves that have directional inputs, which, by the way, this game does have directional inputs, you can use the same kind of system and gain a lot of ground with it. But then again, that's just my opinion. But anyways, what is my final thought about this? Honestly, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is solid. Really, really solid. And I would say it's one of the best action games that has come out since, honestly, Devil May Cry 5. But I do know that Liza P is also pretty good. I do know Elden Ring is pretty good. I haven't played those games yet, so I can't really give a good testament as to what has been. But I would say, for my personal score, I would give Ninja Gaiden an 8 out of 10, honestly. And the reason why is because the camera is a problem. It's a video game that I enjoy. I would highly recommend playing it. And honestly, if you have the opportunity, go ahead and try it out. Did I say I did? I don't remember. Did I ever say I beat it on Master Ninja difficulty? I don't remember saying that. I got video proof anyways. Later. Hey guys, so I know that was a bit of a weird rant at the end. I just kind of forgot. Anyways, if you enjoy this video, leave a like, leave a comment down below. Comment down exactly what you believe is good in this game. Obviously, this is a great game. Highly recommend it to anyone and everyone if you want to play it. Play a good, solid action game. It's hard, but you know what? It's very satisfying to complete. And hey, consider subscribing. You know, it does not cost anything, and you'll get a notification when, you know, another video comes up. Who knows? There might be one right around the corner. Never know. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Later. Peace.